Welcome to Survival Saturday. Dub C here, we're back with another Survival Saturday. So I'm out here doing overnight at the winter shelter. I want to make sure it's still standing after all that snowfall, and so far so good. So while I'm out here, I always like to review some gear and eat some food. For the food, I got a Ration 24-hour winter ration. I think I've had the vegetarian version of this and didn't really like it. I'm hoping this thing is a lot better. And there's some cool items in there as far as like the winter, like I think hand warmers. That'd be really helpful out in this cold weather. I also have some stuff that MRE's / Z Ration little sides that I want to try out, like a double chocolate granola and some orange creamsicle pudding. So I'm really excited to try those and incorporate them into the meal. As far as the gear, got some different fire starters. So I got Pyro putty. This is some new putty that actually uses the tender. There's a winter blend, summer blend, and eco blend. I'm really excited to try this out. I thought it was really interesting, and probably start the campfire with it. Now, as far as some other gear, I have some things I want to try from the torch box that I got from Alpha Outpost, as well as some of the lessons from the torch book that they sent, such as a Pinecone Torch. So now it's about lunchtime. I'm going to bust in this Russian ration and see what it's all about. All right, it's time to open this thing up. So this is a pretty massive ration. It has the logo up front. It's in the white and black like camo that I really like. The vegetarian one was green and like a yellowish. It still has a hole handle. It's really nice. And then there's a tear notch in the back. And there sounds like a sugar packet or something busted in there. So I don't know if it's, hopefully it's just a sugar. But there's the date of production. Potentially, might be a little bit old, but that's okay. And then there's the ingredients on the back. Let's open up and see what we got. Hopefully, like I said, it's not just a salt or a sugar packet. Little tear notch on the bottom. And then there's a Ziploc so you can reseal if needed. And once we got the package opened, I noticed there is like, looks like sugar granules. So I'll have to clean those out. I don't want to dump them out in the mat. Okay, so I dumped some of the sugar crystals out, but there's going to be a big mess when we open this up. So, all right, so we got our napkin. You can see all the sugar crystals are kind of all over. So it's going to be a little bit of cleanup, but that's no big deal. Here we got our napkin. It's all good. We'll set this aside, and then these are the 3 hand warmers. Set those aside and get them cleaned up. I'll be using those tonight and see how good they work. Okay, the first thing we got is, looks like a bacon soup. Be really interesting. We got some, looks like raspberry oats, maybe a muesli. We got a mashed potatoes. And some of these items are similar to the vegetarian ration, like the same components, which I'm okay with because I wasn't really upset about the vegetarian sides. It was just the mains that were really rough. So here's some peanuts. I believe this is a ketchup sauce or like a tomato sauce. Got 2 packets of that. Then we have a whole bottle of the sweetened condensed milk. That's really nice. I'm hoping to find one of the sugar packets around here somewhere. It's all like powderized in here. Here's some milk powder. Here's the matches that come with it. It also comes with a stove, which is really nice. I'll be using that for sure. Looks like one of the mains. I'm not sure if it looks like meatballs as far as the picture. So we'll have to translate that. We got 3 moist towelettes, like a lemon lime. We got 2 teas. Looks like a coffee. The coffee's really good. Oh yeah, this is the good stuff right there. I think this is the apple butter. That stuff's awesome. Okay, there's the pepper. Pepper seems to be okay. Okay, these are isotonic drinks. Looks like there's 2 of them. And then we have plum bar, I think, which is really good. And then look at these, the sugar. One of these is the culprit. That one looks okay. This is the sugar packets. It looks okay. So maybe it was something else. No, it's this one, I think. And this one. So all three sugar packets look like they're okay. Oh, that's what it is. So it looks like an isotonic drink, and the seal actually gave way. So this is no good. But everything else looks okay, and that's what's important. I think this is a vitamin. That's really cool. We have some chocolate. I think this is like a dessert paste. We got another like a main, which is pretty cool. There's actually like could have been mains in here. Another main that will translate. Looks like we got a pate. I'm not sure if that's a vegetable pate or like caviar or the meat, so we'll have to check that out. And then that kind of feels like the vegetable caviar right there, but we'll check that one out. I think this is the cheese. We got some salt. 3 packs, or 3 little Mentos Pure Fresh gums. You got 3 spoons it comes with. Some water purification tabs, total of 3. And then 4 packs of crackers. So I'm getting everything cleaned off from the spillage of the drink, and after further investigation, it actually looks like both packages are compromised. The seal did not hold on these drinks. So not cool, but so it's a risk you take with these rations. Okay, got everything cleaned up. Another thing I noticed, these are not the normal, well, at least the one I'm used to as far as a Russian ration. They usually have the wipes that are green and white, and they have the ones where you can disinfect your silverware and wipe your hands. And these are just, a wet napkin, 3 per use. So there are some differences in this one that I'm pretty surprised. Looks like its production date of everything was approximately 2017, so it's quite old too. Now that everything's cleaned up, we got our lunch items picked out. I got the stove hooked out to warm up the main. The main is kasha, I believe it's beef kasha. We got some cheese. This is liver pate. We got a couple pack of crackers. We got the tomato sauce, the soup, and I'm going to sacrifice one of the wet naps to clean off the spoons. It's pretty cool. They're like blue. Usually have a lemon lime smell to them. I'm going to use the stove to heat up the mains and the water. I always fold the pointy sides down so I can stick them in the ground or snow, and then put the little fuel tab right here. And usually works out pretty good. I'm going to use the UCO stormproof matches I got from the Alpha Outpost box. Actually, open up, they got a little piece of tinder in there with them too. Packs them in there tight. Keep the tinder, we don't need that right now. Looks like they're a waterproof case, and the strikers on the side. They're supposed to be stormproof. I don't know if the snow will put them out. Nope. So you actually can put them in snow, and they keep going. Get our fuel tab lit. Let's go ahead and take a look at this main. It's like a beef kasha, like a rice and beef chunks. Let's see if it warms up in the cold. The one fuel tab. I'm also going to incorporate the orange creamsicle pudding from Ration, so I'm excited for that for dessert. Okay, we're going to try some of the crackers and cheese and pate while the main is warming up. The crackers smell a little bit stale, but let's see how they taste. This is the pate, liver pate. Smells okay. It's supposed to be, yeah, it's real creamy, real smooth. give it a try. I thought this would have more of a like a liver taste to it, like the iron back taste. But overall, it's not at all. It's very smooth, very rich, and one of the best pâtés I've had. So that's really enjoyable. Go ahead and open the cheese up. And this is like a block hard cheese. It smells okay. Go ahead and cut a sliver of that and have some on a cracker. And the cheese actually has a nice, like a sharp cheddar flavor to it, which was a lot better than the vegetarian one. I think it was like a different kind. This is much better. These two sides are great with crackers. We're going to get the orange creamsicle pudding going. It actually says you gotta remove the oxygen absorber, add 2.5 ounces of water, shake bag for about 30 seconds, and let it sit for 5 minutes. Okay, I got my tea water ready to go and my soup water. I just got my other stove out because having one stove is rough out here. Cooking the main, it's working, but I don't think it's going to cook it all the way. So I added my tea water, and then for the soup, it says 200 milliliters of water. So I got left over. Just go ahead and toss it in the hot water and give it a stir. It's got like a, almost like, hopefully those are croutons or something. It has a really nice smell to it though. It'll be great out here for this cold weather. We'll go ahead and just try the soup out. Look at that, there's croutons, bits of carrots in there. Oh, that soup is really nice. Very rich flavor, like a beef and vegetable. And the croutons are actually really crunchy. And that crunch definitely adds to flavor. So I'm going to take one of these crackers, because they are pretty tough, and put it in there and let it sit for a little bit. Let them absorb that flavor. Alright, the main's kind of done. The heater didn't do too bad. But, yeah, I mean, just mixing it up a little bit. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Oh, that main is excellent. By far, this is easily better than all the mains in the vegetarian already. The rice, the beef, such rich flavor. You don't even need to season this. And the heater actually did really good. Once I got it good stirred up, it's perfectly warmed up, almost too hot to eat. But fantastic main right off the bat. Although the main is really good just by itself, I'm going to try some of the tomato sauce or tomato ketchup. It's kind of dark, but probably just more flavor. Alright, my tea is ready to go. Now, with the ketchup or tomato sauce, it adds a different dynamic of flavor. It's still really good, but it really just changes it up. So it's really nice, almost like a goulash. So it's really enjoyable. Before I'm going to add the sugar to my tea. Now it's time for that megabyte, because Russian rations give the opportunity to make a nice megabyte. So we have so many great things on the table here. So first we're going to add some of this wonderful pâté. We'll add some of this awesome cheese with this fantastic main, on top of some of that tomato sauce. That's what it's all about. Now that has to be one of my favorite megabytes so far. And just everything. So the cheese, sharp cheddar, the perfect pâté, this main, the tomato sauce, all comes together. Just a great flavor. I'm going to go ahead and wash it down with this tea. Tea is very bold. I always enjoy this tea, this kind with the sugar in it. But now it's time to try that orange creamsicle pudding. I've been letting it sit in the snow for the 5 minutes. Looks like it reconstituted really well. It's nice and thick. Go ahead and try a bite of this. Oh, this stuff is great. This, because I got it cold in that snow, it ran me like a push-up pop. The really nice orange flavor, the cream flavor all come through really well. Perfect dessert for an absolutely fantastic lunch. So I'm going to finish this up and I'll start working on that torch, Pinecone Torch. Okay, I forgot to mention this new stuff may not be out yet, but just watch the website. If it's not out already, it should be soon. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this torch book. It's got a couple cool things in it. One of the things I thought was really cool was the how to make a Pinecone Torch. In the first steps, it says collect resin, so we'll do that first. Then we got to make a torch stick. Then we got to warm up the resin, put the pine cone in there, and then warm up the resin and dump it on the pine cone, and we should have a torch. Been wanting to learn how to do this, so in case I need it, I have a torch available. I mean, most of the stuff is pretty natural. So let's go ahead and collect some resin. I'm going to use I did find some pine cones already, and I'm going to use the Ration main tin to reuse that. I got the torch saw, we can use that. And I got my SE6. Kind of see what we can do to get some perimeter torches for tonight's campfire. As far as the instructions say, you're supposed to find the spot on a pine tree where you see like a buildup of resin. And this looks like one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut some of this off into the tin. And it's supposed to be like soft, because it's obviously sap. This stuff is pretty soft. So we'll get as much as we can into the tin. Alright, in the book it also identifies how to find fat wood. And that limb right there would probably be a good one, because I see the resin at the bottom of the limb itself. So that's something if I can reach it, I can cut it down, and hopefully that'd be a good piece of fat wood. Okay, on to the next pine tree. I actually found a huge bunch of resin. I mean, I think this is a jackpot right here. This will work really good for what we're trying to do. I'd say that's a pretty good lump of the resin right there. It should melt down pretty good, because once I get this tin full, I'm going to melt it all down, and it's what we use as our fuel for our torches. All right, I want to salvage this piece and another piece for some fat wood. I'm going to use the torch saw that they provided, see how well it cuts. Not bad at all. This stuff is still pretty green, but I'll set it somewhere and let it dry out a little bit more. All right, got two pretty nice pieces. Like I said, fat wood's basically pine and impregnated with the resin, heavily saturated. I'm assuming that's it. Still learning about it. The saw works pretty good. It's not as good as the Excel 240, but it's definitely second. Cuts really nice. Go ahead and set these aside, let them dry out. All right, now we got our resin collected. I'm going to use the Russian stove and see if I can cook it on one of these fuel tabs. See if that's enough. All right, it's warming up pretty good. Now we just got to get a stick and stir it up. Oh, you don't want that to happen. It's very flammable. Oh, that's not good. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Okay, this may not work with this heater. Alright, while the resin's cooking, I actually found a nice torch stick, and I batoned the top, split it up here, and then did the same thing the other way, and you get this nice cross section. The biggest problem I'm running into so far is when I'm cooking the resin, it's actually catching on fire. Once I batoned in the middle, in the side, it gave me a nice cross section in which you're supposed to take the pine cone. After I actually placed two sticks down to kind of hold it open, then you place your pine cone down the center of it, and that's kind of like where you're going to put your resin. Once you get your pine cone in place, you can actually pull the sticks out or break them out. Now I got the pine cone in place, and here's my resin. I'm just going to kind of put the resin on top of the pine cone as much as I can. And they said that it's better if the flaps are open, because that way if it drips down, it doesn't drip onto your hands, it drips onto the next layer. But this one doesn't have the pine cone where it's open. These ones do, so it'll be a little bit better. But still, they're not like sticking way out. But your goal is basically to saturate the pine cone as much as you can. And then it should be ready to burn. And this resin turned out perfectly. It's like tar, basically, and should work out really well. I don't know how much to apply. It doesn't really say that, but I do know that it's very flammable because it kept on catching fire while I was trying to get it ready. Alright, this one's all done. I coated the pine cone, and the resin's going to harden back up, and that way it's ready to go. Okay, I got my 3 torches made. It's time to get a fire going. We're losing daylight. So this is the multi-season putty set from Pyro Putty. Comes with 2 winter blends, 2 summer blends, and 1 eco blend. They come in these little tins. So that looks like the winter blend, the summer blend, and then there's the eco blend. And it's basically just like putty. And they said about a quarter size, burns for about 15 minutes. And they also claim that it's waterproof, and you should be able to ignite it with a ferro rod. But let's see, basically grab a healthy piece of Pyro Putty, then you tear apart, exposing the fibers. Then you put the stick putty to the wood and ignite it, and then you put the basically inside the teepee. And that's the last thing in the Alpha Outpost book. I've done the Pinecone torches. Doing a teepee fire right now, and I'll show that. I've done it before, and then I think the other one was finding fat wood. So that book was awesome. It taught me a lot, and I can always appreciate a subscription box that gives you guidebooks as well. Okay, for a teepee build, like I said, I've done this before. I'm going to show this again, just because it's part of the book. And then the final challenge is to start a fire with with one of the items or using the torch box. And the ferro rod I'm using is from the torch or Alpha Outpost Torch box, so I'll complete the challenge as well. But basically, you want to make a teepee formation, knock it over, and start over again. Basically, you make a teepee structure out of the sticks, and then you put the tinder at the bottom, and it's supposed to ignite it. And you kind of build from smaller sticks to larger sticks and keep it going. Pretty easy. But it's great to build an elevated fire, so if the ground's wet like snow or rain, kind of gets the fire going above it and dries everything out before it becomes a problem. Right now we're going to take this winter Pyro Putty and wrap it around this stick right here, basically like that, and then I'm going to give a little bit on the top and expose the fibers and see if it ignites. Okay, I got it all ready, and see if it ignites with the ferro rod. Okay, we got the putty lit. Set it in our teepee. Set about a quarter size, has 15 minutes burn time. Okay, the winter blend is blue, and it actually is thinner compound, so it's easier to work with in lower temperatures. Whereas the summer compound, I'm going to check that out. Yeah, that's a lot. I can't even like mold that right now. It's really difficult to move, where the blue was pretty easy. And let's see the green. And I'll be using this in other... Oh wow, there's I think this is glow in the dark. They said it could be used as a trail marker too. It's like a UV trail marker. So it kind of doubles as 2 things. That's really nice. And then to continue the teepee build, you just continue to stick larger sticks in the formation, and your fire takes off really nice. Pyro Putty works great. I'm excited to try it in like other seasons such as summer, and then in rainy weather. But it seems like it'd be a great, another great fire starter. Okay, we got a nice fire going. So that means it's time for dinner. Okay, so we got the chocolate spread. We have the drink which is the milk. And I'm going to try and make something cool with that. I've seen Blind Fox actually review the same ration, and she made chocolate milk with the chocolate spread and the milk, because I really don't like the milk by itself, but I think that looks awesome. And maybe if I had the sweetened condensed milk and make it like a shake. So interested to see that. I think this is like a beef and carrots, maybe beef and peas. Not sure if it's like meatballs, but looks pretty good. So we got 2 packs of crackers, got the mashed potatoes, tomato sauce again, got some vegetable caviar, and I had some caviar, pate and cheese left over from lunch. And that lunch was awesome. Let's hopefully dinner's gonna be better. I did bring out one of the hand warmers because I want to test this out before I need them at night. So I'm gonna open one up, and they're brown, same as like the hot hands or anything like that. So let's see if it still works. Before I get these on the fire, I'm going to pop this one open. Oh, I never have good luck with those, in the French rations or this. So yeah, it's beef and peas. I don't want to open it too much because I want it to heat up really good. So beef and peas and carrots. Let's go ahead and get that on the fire. All right, let's actually see what this is. Looks like a meatball, kind of beef, maybe in rice or something. I'm going to get that warmed up. Start mixing up the milk, drink. I like everything warming up. I only had half the water because I want to be able to stir it like hardcore until I get a nice mixture, and then I'll add the rest of the water. I just got the water done for the mashed potatoes. I'm going to set that in there, mix them up, and I'll put a lid on it to help reconstitute a little bit better. Okay, got the milk about mixed up like that. Now we're going to add the chocolate. Oh, spoon down. I'm not having been good luck with spoons either, so I'm going to have to go get the backup. Right now I'm going to add the, oh, that's kind of dark, but kind of frozen too. Look at this, like, oh, there we go. I don't know if that's any good. There was initially a plug of like harder sweetened condensed milk, but it's okay, we got it out of the way. Okay, the first main to get done. Looks like the meatball one. Yeah, like little chunks of meat. Let's go ahead and try one of those out. Yeah, that's very reminiscent of like a stuffed pepper filling. It's like beef with rice. Or like a, I don't know if anybody's had the pigs in a blanket with the cabbage wrap. That's what you would put inside. Really, like I said, perfectly seasoned, doesn't need anything. It would be really good with that ketchup. Right now we have the beef and peas. Looks like we got some fatty pieces up top. A little bit gelatinous. It's like a big old fatty piece right there. I'm going to set that aside for now. Try that out. That's pretty good, but it's very pea up front. Like a lot of, you can taste the big flavor of the peas. Not a lot of meat flavor, so it's not too bad. Definitely not as good as the other two mains, but let's see if we can zest it up with the tomato sauce, or maybe added with the mashed potatoes. That would be really good. I'm going to try the mashed potatoes by themselves real quick. Mashed potatoes are nice. They have a nice like onion flavor, but definitely could use a little more. So I'm going to add these pea main to the side of that. And that way they can work together. Have like a little mashed potatoes and beef and peas. It's a nice little meal right there. Let's go ahead and try that combined now. Oh yeah, that's definitely a way to eat that. They complement each other very well and make a really nice meal. I mean, this is a pretty big dinner, but most of these are just nice dinner items. Open the vegetable caviar and try on a cracker. Not sure what kind this is, but I'm usually a big fan of usually any flavor they have. Oh yeah, the vegetable caviar, it reminds me of squash, but it would go good with this main and this main. You just put on top, or with crackers. And you can also have it with the cheese and the pate. So lots of options. I'm going to try this ketchup or tomato sauce with one of these meatballs. That's definitely a way to eat that. It reminds me of meatloaf now, like homemade meatloaf. Really good. Hand warmers do not work. I think age got to them. They're vacuum sealed and everything, but they're not getting hot at all. Now this is a milk drink, the chocolate spread and sweetened condensed milk for my try on a chocolate milkshake. All I can say is nailed it. That is a perfect chocolate milkshake. It's very smooth, very rich. You just got a little bit less water. The chocolate spread, and I say I can't take credit for it because I actually seen this Blind Fox do this. So really good idea. And typically I don't like the milk drink by itself, and I don't like this chocolate spread by itself. So mixing them up gives you a good way to be able to eat them without a problem. Another fantastic meal out of this ration. Everything that I disliked about the vegetarian one, this one's making up for. So I'm really glad I got to try it out. I'm excited to try out breakfast, but now I got to see how those torches are going to work. My first natural pinecone torches. All right, so I got 2 torches. I sharpened the ends and stuck them to the ground for a perimeter. And look at this. It's like rock hard. After the resin formed, it's back to its hardened state. So it's really cool. And apparently I just got to stick it in the fire, and it's supposed to start right up. Time to try out these torches. Let there be light. So you definitely don't want to have it above you. You have an angle like this because you see that stuff dripping, you don't want it dripping on you. Now this burn time is supposed to be a total of 30 minutes. So I'm interested to see how long it lasts. I'm going to time it. I'm going to go light the other ones right now. Let's see if I can light it with this torch. Oh yeah. It looked pretty good. Wow, that works out really good. Okay, start the timers. We got our torches lit. I'm definitely impressed with these torches so far. It's been about 15 minutes and they're steady burning. They provide a nice amount of light. If you didn't have a flashlight, this would definitely work to get you from point A to point B. You can make smaller ones. There's definitely some things I want to improve on it. As far as the drip, there's some things I want to look at because when you hold them upright, they want to drip a lot. They're not dripping right now. They're actually stabilized pretty good. But I think they're definitely going to make the 30-minute burn time. Okay, getting settled in the shelter. Got a nice fire going inside, warming it up. It's pretty cold out. Okay, it's bedtime. And had a pretty awesome day. Glad to see the shelter's doing okay. I was worried about it with all that heavy snow, but held up pretty good. Having that awesome ration, the Russian winter ration. So far, really good meals. Really excited to check out breakfast, but I'm exhausted now. Had a nice campfire. The torches work great. They burn for about 35-40 minutes. Not that long, but not bad for a first attempt. So I guess it's lights out. Okay, it's morning time and it's time for coffee. So I got the water warming up on the stove. Time for that morning coffee. Special thanks to Karen. She actually sent me this Kuju. I think it's coffee. Basically, pour over coffee. I'm really excited to try that out, so I'll be busting this open in a minute. And then she also sent me some leather punching and some actual pieces of leather to actually make a nice, better sheath for my axe. So I'll be working on that. And some ReadyWise meals. So appreciate all the support, Karen. It really, this coffee, I'm really excited to try it out. It's got like an earthy, dark cocoa, dried berry. So this is the dark roast. So thanks again, and really appreciate it. All right, the water's almost done warming up, so we'll go ahead and open this up, see what it's all about. So it's got a Ziploc seal. Looks like they're like 5 of them come there. Oh, that smells wonderful. And you just seal it up for the next trip. And we just take this, put that in here, open this up, and wait for our hot water. pour it into filtration system. Alright, time for the taste test. That's some fantastic coffee. So it's called Bold Awakenings. That's what I need right now. I'd say I love my strongest coffee right when I wake up, just to give me that kick, get me going. But yeah, slept pretty good. It was a very quiet night. It sounds like I got a woodpecker outside now. Everything's waking up too. But I'm very excited to bust in the last meal on this Russian winter ration. I was very impressed with lunch and dinner. I'm excited to see what breakfast is all about. Sometimes I forget to say it, but my link for all the gear that I use out here and review is going to be down below, and it's like a Google document link. You click on that, it'll have all the items with their links. But that way, if you see something you like, you can check it out. And also, I'll be getting some more stuff from Proper. I do have the Proper tactical pants, but they contacted me, and now kind of working with them. And I'm going to get some other equipment from them, but I also have a promotion code for them, DubC. I'll put that down below as well with the website. So if you need tactical gear, they sell all kinds of survival gear, preparedness gear. So definitely worth a check out if you like that, and you get, I believe you get 10% off the entire order. So I'm going to clean up a little bit and have some breakfast. Okay, I got breakfast all laid out. So I have some more crackers. I believe this is the plum bar. Possibly the star of the show, apple butter. Always really good. Some leftover sweetened condensed milk. Got some peanuts. Vitamin tablet. Coffee. I believe this is like oats and raspberry. And then I have the Z ration from MRE's double chocolate granola. First thing we're going to try is the bar. Definitely just looks like a fig bar kind of without the crackers on it. Let's try and give it a shot. Very rich in flavor. Perfect breakfast bar. It seems more natural to me. Can't really get the ingredients, but overall I would love to have this in like with the breakfast just like I'm having now. Works out really well. Go ahead and take a look at these. Hopefully they're roasted salted. Yep, they appear to be. I got a little sweet and savory. Got that bar, and I'll have some of these roasted salted peanuts. Yeah, these are really good. Nice base salted flavor. Oh yeah, these are perfect with that bar. Nice salty, savory flavor. Very crunchy. Instead, they give you quite a bit for the pouch, but these are really good for on the go. A lot of these items I picked were, you know, if you wanted to go on a hike, you could kind of just put them in your pocket, the bar, the peanuts, and eat them on the go. Now let's try this apple butter. And I'm quite impressed that everything's still pretty much held up besides the hand warmers for this being 2017. So, like, all the mains were good. Everything holding up great so far. This is the apple butter. And this is one of my favorite things, absolutely, from the Russian rations. Yeah, only thing age did to this is make it even better. Still very rich, just very lightly sweetened, but just perfect apple flavor going on biscuits or crackers. And these crackers are a little bit stale, but makes them taste just fine. Now this is the Z Ration double chocolate granola. Many ways you can eat this. You can eat it as a snack, use it as cereal. I'm gonna go ahead and open up and take a look, give it a try. Comes in a Ziploc pouch. Once you get it open, you gotta get your tab out. Now you can put milk in here, you can put water in here, you can do all kinds of stuff. But I also like granola as like a trail snack. And this is like the double chocolate. So it's got bits of chocolate in it. The granola looks like it's seasoned in chocolate. So I'm gonna just try it like this. That's how I would eat it, just like a trail snack. But there's so many variations you can do it. It's a very rich chocolate flavor. Little bits of chocolate are like semi-sweet. They're not overly sweet, so it's not like eating candy or anything like that, but you're getting a nice hearty meal to go. And what I'd see me doing is I like that sweet and savory. Probably add the little peanuts to it from my pouch and just combine them. I'm not sure if this is out yet. It may be, so check the website. It's allmarys.com. You'll see the link down below. Use WC to get that 10% off. Now, like I said, there's a couple other things they got coming out too. It's really nice. Like that orange creamsicle pudding was really good. But I went for the water to make up my oats and raspberries, it looks like, and my coffee. Let's take a look at this vitamin. Just a little typical multivitamin. So a little bit smaller, like mine are like 3 times the size of that multivitamins I have. So probably not a mega dose. So I'm just going to make a little mega bite going on. So I got the sweetened condensed milk, the rest of the plum bar, and this cracker. Now that was really good. It actually, for some odd reason, it tasted like pecan pie, like the filling in that. So it worked out really good. Now I just gotta wait for my water to get done. Get some coffee. I'll go ahead and get that ready. Got a weird spot for a tear notch. It's kind of like the middle of the package. Coffee looks okay. Doesn't look great. Looks like maybe a little moisture got to it, but doesn't look moldy or anything like that, so we're good on that. Water for the coffee and the oats are done. Use this hot water. Okay, got it opened up. It looks okay. And it smells really, real strong flavor of strawberries. Let's go ahead and dump that in. Give it a mix. Okay, we'll try the, I made it a little bit too soupy, but it'll be okay. Try the oats. Okay, the oats taste actually very bland. They're actually just like oatmeal with the slightest hint of raspberry. So I'm going to add some of the sweetened condensed milk to it. I'm going to try the coffee out first. Coffee's really good. It is, it's usually bold, but so I had that dark roast from this morning that made this taste like a light coffee. So still really good, but let's go ahead and try to sweeten this up a little bit. Getting the rest of this SEM and give it a shot. All right, let's see if it sweetened it up. Oh yeah, that's definitely the ticket. It thickened it up a little bit as well as giving the sweet. And actually the sweetness brought out the raspberry flavor even more. So overall, great breakfast. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up and talk more on final thoughts. Okay, so final thoughts in the overnight, the gear and the food. The overnight, had a fantastic stay at the winter shelter. I can always count on this place for a nice place to stay. Was a little bit worried about the roof coming out here with all the snow we had recently, but it held up great. And had the wood stove to keep me warm. I can't ask for more. It was perfect. Slept great. As far as the gear, I got to try out some Pyro putty. Got to start up my campfire with a Pyro putty. Everything on the specifications works. It's waterproof. Was able, like a quarter-size ball, burns for like 15 minutes. That all proved true, and I was able to start a fire real easily with it. I love the versatility of it. That was the winter blend. I'm excited to try the summer and the eco blend, so stay tuned for that later. Now, as far as the torch box, I was able to make some homemade torches. I followed the guidebook and I did all that stuff on there. I made a teepee fire. I found some fat wood. I got the chance to make the natural Pinecone torches, and that's really cool because I see it in movies where people are always like in a survival situation and they make these torches. I'm like, oh, that'd be pretty cool to know. Now I know. So it's really cool that I got to try that, and the burn time on those. I just followed the instructions. It worked out great. Really appreciate that Alpha Outpost sent a book that is like a guidebook and you can learn from. That's really awesome. So I'm excited to see what else I see from Alpha Outpost. Now, as far as the food, I had the winter 24-hour Russian ration. This thing worked great. The only thing that didn't work out was the hand warmers, but it is from 2017, I believe. But overall, I had the vegetarian version, like I mentioned before. Didn't really like it. This one turns out is like one of my favorite Russian rations I ever had. The mains were fantastic. The sides were fantastic. You can mix and match. The mains you could just warm up and eat. You didn't even need sides to do it, but they provided like the tomato sauce to even liven things up a little bit more. Really a fantastic meal. And then I got to try out the Z Ration, orange creamsicle pudding, and the double chocolate granola. They may not be on the website yet, but they will be soon. Definitely check it out. It's allmres.com. Great for sides and great for rations. So I'm excited to see more of these, and they were fantastic. Special thanks to Karen. Got to try the Kuju coffee for breakfast, and that stuff was super bold. Woke me up and got me going. It was just another great time outdoors. Got to learn a lot, have some fun. What more can you ask for? So that's all I got now. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.